Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to read a date from the user and we are going to print actually whether the entered date is a past date or a future date. Now for that I need a text box to read the user's date. Now this text box value when we call in a variable is going to be a string value, so we'll have to convert it into a date. So the first thing we'll do is declare the variable and call the value in the variable. Okay, that done. It is a string. So A contains a string. We have to convert it into a date. So I'm going to use let us call it something like user date, which will make more sense. Okay, so I'm going to convert A into a user date. Now, if you want to compare whether this date is a past date or a future date, you need to compare it with current date, the date and time right now. So I'm going to capture my system date by using the empty brackets with the date constructor. So that's it. I have the user date, I have the system date, and as I mentioned earlier in one of the videos, dates are never stored as dates. They are stored as the number of milliseconds since the Unix epoch time, that is 1st of January 1970, 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds, and 0 milliseconds. Right, so they are actually stored as a number. So all you need to do when you want to check whether something is smaller than something, you just do a less than or greater than comparison. So that's what I'm going to do. If the user date is less than the system date, then we will simply print that it is a past date. Otherwise, we will print it is a future date. Now, the possibility of it being the current date is very minute because by the time you press enter, the number of milliseconds would have shifted. So the possibility of getting current date is practically impossible. Now, the problem here would be that if you're trying to convert a string which is actually not a date, we would end up with the conversion which is NaN. So we'll have to fall back to our checking. That is the conversion in the user date. If it is NaN, we would throw a message telling the user that it's a wrong date. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and do this process. So we will make sure that the user is not entering wrong date input. So that is the logic to the definition. Let us see if it works. Okay, so I'm going to put in 26th of January 2022 and it says it's a past date, and 23 it would say it's a future date, and if I try to enter today's date, it is actually not going to work because it will show it as past date because the time factor is also included in the date. Whereas when I am entering the date, it is taken as time 000 and 0 milliseconds. So, well, this is the solution to the definition of reading a date and checking and printing whether it is a past date or a future date. And I'll catch you in the next video with a new definition.